Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Welcome back to another episode of Flores Watch, the series we have on this channel where we talk about Marcelo Flores' international and club career. So as you guys are probably already aware, he's been in with Mexico U20s again, playing in Uruguay, I believe. I think they played him three times. Um, the first game I think he played in, he did that Rabona cross, that very nearly landed an absolute world class goal. Unfortunately, he didn't, but it was still a top class bit of skill. So he just played again. I think it's the third and final game, and Mexico beat them 3-2, which is quite awesome. So Flores actually scored twice in that game. Scored an absolute worldie. I think that was his first goal. That's actually I've got a video of that on my channel. So if you want to go back, because it's in the Flores Watch playlist. So if you want to go back one video and watch it, it's well worth watching because it's a pretty sick goal. So well done to him. I don't know how many goals he's got now for U20s this season alone. I've had a look. Google won't tell me. Transfer Market won't tell me. Let me know in the comments below if you know anywhere that shows it. I'm pretty sure he's on like 7 or 8 goals this season for the U20s in Mexico now. So he's doing really well for the club and country. So um, that's pretty sweet, to be honest with you. And obviously now he's going to go back to Arsenal and back into the under 23s and hopefully continues to ball out with them. Excuse me. Yeah, so hopefully he goes back and does really well. Um, there's some shouts about him maybe going to Qatar. I think it would be cool if he did go to Qatar. I think it's slightly too early, to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong. Like I want him at Qatar, and I want him in Arsenal's first team as well. But I'm trying to keep my expectations realistic because he is still 18. He has come out and did a recent interview with Charles Watts, who's the Arsenal one of the Arsenal journalists covering Arsenal. He did an interview like last week after he got the top 50 young player award thing a couple of weeks ago. And basically, Flores came out and said, "Look, I want to make my Premier League debut by the time I'm 19." So he's 19, I think, the 1st of October. Kind of weird that I know his birthday, only because he signed his professional contract with Arsenal on his birthday, on his 17th birthday. So that's the only reason why I know his birthday. I just remember it. Um, Plus, it's on FIFA now, so you can go and check it out if you want to. So yeah, that's in October. So that's going to be the beginning of next season. So I think that's very possible. To be honest with you, I think it's only a matter of time now before we start seeing him on the bench. There's a couple of players because our bench is quite light for Arsenal, so there's only a matter of time before he's on the bench because we've got a lot of youth players on the bench anyway at the moment. So um, I think he does make his Premier League debut. Hopefully, if all goes well this season and we qualify, get top four, um, with a couple of games to spare, maybe he gets a run out then. But we'll have to wait and see. But I think it'll be next season. So next season, from August onwards, it's going to be absolutely huge for him. I think for potentially club and country. So club, yeah, obviously he might get his debut, his first team debut, whether it's a cup or Premier League, I don't know yet. I think it's going to be a cup. I think he's going to make his debut with Arsenal for the cup and then renew his contract and then go out on loan. That's what I think. What I hope is that he just jumps into the first team, not in the starting lineup, on the bench, comes off the bench a few times, and then earns his starting spot. That's what I hope, but we'll have to wait and see. That could all happen before his birthday. And then obviously with Mexico, the Mexican World Cup, the Qatar World Cup doesn't start till November, so it's possible. I mean, it depends. I mean, the Mexico squad needs revamping anyway. I think the World Cup qualifiers has kind of shown everyone that some players are just not up to the first team for Mexico anymore. And I think he absolutely deserves it. He's been balling out for the youth system in Arsenal and for Mexico. Like, what? More, there's nothing more that he could do really to show that he's ready. To be honest with you, I think with Arsenal, it's only for the fact that we have to win every single game now to get top four. Top four is the absolute ultimate goal that we have. And Champions League football is the ultimate goal that we have, not top four, it's Champions League football. So we have to win every single game. So I can understand why he's not being floated around there because obviously we need our best players, our top players, the most experienced players in those games. I can understand that. With Mexico, it's a little bit different because Mexico, the top players, the most experienced players, some of them have really fallen off now. Um, and like players like Raul Jimenez has not been the same. Chucky has had a terrible World Cup qualifying. Tecatito as well, although he's been a little bit better now that he's got his move to Sevilla. Um, who else? Henry Martin's not up for me, to be honest with you. Striker wise, there's a whole conversation about strikers. But like wingers, he's a winger, he can play on either wing, and he's a cam, he's a number 10. So who do we have on the wings? Chucky, Tecatito, both had terrible World Cup qualifiers. Vega, Antuna, both had pretty decent World Cup qualifiers, especially this last game. Um, I think Vega scored like 8 goals. I think in qualifying, so they could be set. Vega as well could potentially play as a number 10 for Mexico. I don't know whether he will do or not. I think he'll be stuck out wide. Um, I think there's a spot at number 10. To be honest with you, it's that little area just behind the striker. I think will really suit Flores, especially if we have a young striker, say Santi Jimenez, for example. Um, if because they can play off each other. Flores is way capable of running into the box, running off a player. So we need a striker that can hold up the ball, bring Flores into play, and also get on the end of balls at Flores, because Flores can assist as well as score. And that's really good. And he's rapid as well, and it's difficult to get off the ball. So he's very. He's as ready as he could be at this stage at 18 years old to be a senior team for the Mexican national team. If the attacking side of Mexico had been the one that was plugged in this World Cup qualifier and the defense wasn't, then I can at least say, well, all these players are doing really well. It's going to be tough for him to be. But the attacking players, pretty much all the attacking players have been off really for Mexico this whole qualifying session, round or whatever you want to call it, tournament. Lainez hasn't really been given that much of a chance. Lainez, Antuna, Vega. I think they're the wide players that should be starting pretty much every Mexico game now. Tecatito, I think, is always going to be around. I think Chucky Lozano is always going to be around as well. But they've been average, and I don't think they deserve to be in the first 11 for Mexico's first game, unless they have really good ends of the seasons and starts of next seasons. So in the next few months, if they ball out and they start scoring for Napoli and Sevilla and Wolves as well for a while, then we'll have to reassess. But at the moment, there's a gaping hole, and it could be filled by Flores, in my opinion. I think he at least deserves a call up, and I think I've got a funny feeling, because I think there's like an initial 24 player or initial 30 player or whatever, and then it gets shrunk down. Because I think that's what happened with Jonathan Gonzalez back in 2018. I think he was called the initial call up, but then wasn't in the reduced one. I think Flores deserves to be called up to the World Cup to the squad that goes to the World Cup. I think he deserves to be at least called up for it and in the squad. Does he start? Probably not, unless the group stage is already assured and it's an easy run out for him. But he should be in the squad for sure. Mexico absolutely need to be seriously thinking we need to get this kid in the starting 11. Or not starting 11, but in the squad at least. So it depends now. I mean, he's an absolute blinding 2021-2022 season. Some people complain that he's still in the under 23s, under 20s, whatever. That's fine. I can understand that. I would rather him being first team player for Arsenal and Mexico, obviously. But you have to take everything into consideration. He's 18 years old. He's still learning for a start. And as good as he is now, with a little bit more training, at top class Premier League academy, as well as Mexico. Just gonna sneeze. Sorry, Mexico are great at developing young players as well. So he's learning from Mexico U20s and Arsenal U23s. He's learning from pretty much the best that he could, get, really. And I disagree. Like, Arsenal is the best academy. They have the best academy right now, really. In terms of developing young players and actually giving them chances, real chances, Arsenal's far and away the best. So he's doing exactly what he needs to be doing. But for me, he needs to end the season really well. Stay touch wood, stay healthy, injury free, and then have a really good preseason. I've got a feeling he's going to go to the preseason tour. I think it's rumored that it's going to be in the US. Arsenal's preseason tour. I reckon he should go to that. And if he does, and he does well, and Arteta's like, well, hell yeah, let's just give him a shot. We know we've got top four now. We need to rotate the squad a little bit more. Let's give him a shot. It's very, very, very likely that he could get his debut and then maybe get into the team for Arsenal before the World Cup. And then he could get called up for the World Cup squad and actually go there. 2022 could be the ending of 2022 could be a very, very, very huge for him. He just needs to keep his head down, keep working. He's a hard working boy. He's going to do really well. He needs to do really well for the rest of the season, which I think he will. I think he will. He's been in the U23s for like 3 months, and he's already arguably the best player. And this is not just from me. This is from George Bird, Charlie Watts. There's LeGrove, and the Daily Cannon. They're all saying this kid's special. This kid's probably the best player in the under 23s. Apart from maybe there's an argument for Omari Hutchinson. Patino's kind of in like a no man's land now between the U23s and the first team. He's kind of in between. He's not really in the under 23 squad anymore. But they're including Flores in the conversation of the best player in the under 23s. Arteta has to be noticing that. He has to be seeing that, and he has to be thinking. Because for me, I'm going off the tangent here. Sorry, but for me, the positions that Marcelo plays in for Arsenal doesn't need rejuvenating. We don't need a new winger. Even if Pepe leaves, we don't need a new winger. We've got Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe can all play there. Bringing Flores in, bringing Mario Hutchinson in off the bench. If we're going to have a light bench, have it full of the youth academy products. You know, the best players of the academy, should I say. For me, it's Arsenal. Arsenal's problem is the striker. We need a young goal-scoring striker. We need a centre defensive mid. I would have Edson Alvarez, by the way. So that Partey can get a little bit more forward because he likes his shots and he's more of a forward passing player. Xhaka, I think, is going to leave. Not because I don't like him. I really like him as a player, but I think he will just leave for a new challenge. So striker, centre mid, and I think a backup right back. That's it for me. I think that's what we're going to do. Julian Araujo is free. He's young. So anyway, I'm going off on the tangent. I'm just saying that the positions that Flores plays in, would play for, in the Arsenal first team don't need filling out. So we could have the starting 11 of a decent striker, Martinelli out on the left, I don't know, Odegaard or Smith Rowe in the middle, Saka on the right, or Smith Rowe on the left, and then bring Flores off of the bench until he plays really well. And then if Arteta's like, well, you played well, I'll give you a start. And then it goes from there. It's all like the likeliest option is that he gets his debut next season, renews his contract runs out in a couple of years, and then goes out on loan. That's what I think is going to happen. What I want to happen is that he does a Saka and basically he gets his chance at the beginning of the season, does well, gets another chance, does well, gets another chance, and before you know it, he's a first team regular. Maybe not a first team starter, but a first team regular, and then we'll go from there. The opportunity is there. Like, the opportunity for both Arsenal and for Mexico in with Flores is there. There's every chance that Canada is going to call him up to the World Cup. I feel like if that was any likely, then they would have called him up for the qualifiers. especially this last round where we've had a couple of injuries and stuff, and I think that might be US men's national team actually. But like I said, if Flores was in Canada's long term plans and he was open to it, then why wouldn't they have called him up for the World Cup qualifiers? You know, because he would have played them for a few games, um, and he would have gone to them because obviously the qualifiers is a legit game. And then he'll be used to the players, he'll be used to the system, used to the coaches before then going to the World Cup. What's the point in bringing a brand new kid? It's different from Mexico, but before you say that, so my original point is, what's the point in not having him involved with Canada at all, and then bringing him for a World Cup, their first World Cup in 35 years? You know what I mean? Why would they? Would it have better suited both him and them for him to be involved in the World Cup qualifying rounds? So whether they called him up and he said, "Nah, I'm good," but that's the thing, man. If they turn around and say, Canada turns around and say, "Hey, we offer you a first team spot in our qualifying squads," that would have cup tied him. That would have tied him to Canada. And then if they did, then he would obviously turn around and said, "Nah, I'm good because I'm going to be in Mexico's U20s." But it's different from Mexico. He's been with Mexican U20s. He's been with obviously he's got his Mexico debut. He's been around the senior team with, or most of the senior team for Mexico. He's had a little bit of experience. So if he was brought into the World Cup squad, he would have at least a little bit of a foundation to go on. With Canada, he'd be going in completely blind, completely closed and cold because he's had no experience with Canada setup at all up to now. So I feel like it's more likely that he goes to Mexico, and I think he's holding out for Mexico as well. I think that's pretty clear now. Like, how many times did he play for the Mexican U20s? Loads. And that's just this season. This season. Blah. Can't talk. I'm getting too worked up. Anyway, he's done really well for the Mexican U20s again. He's doing really well for the Arsenal under 23s. The possibility of him getting first team action for both club and country is real. Um, he just needs to stay doing what he's doing. He's been doing everything brilliantly so far, so I've got every confidence. Stay healthy, and next season could be absolutely huge, like I said. So, anyway, thanks guys. Thanks for listening to me ramble for 17 odd minutes. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like this series. Let me know in the comments what you think about him, about his nationality, and his Arsenal career as well. I love talking about Marcelo Flores, and I have strong opinions about it, like you know, I guess. We'll have a conversation in the comments. So yeah, take it easy, guys, and I'll see you guys very soon because he'll be playing for the under 23s in a few days. So take it easy, have a good day, enjoy celebrating Mexico again qualification for the World Cup. I'm buzzing for it now, actually, to be honest with you. Yeah, take it easy, and I'll see you guys soon. So adios, guys.